What's up? Pich in studio solo. Kai had plans. He was doing other things, and he missed this game. He's going to watch it later, I believe. But I'm here for your wrap-up on the solo. And look, we lost the game to the Utah Jazz tonight, 131-124. I'm just going to tell you about it in chronological order of my experience with this game because it kind of matters, which is weird for me because usually I just kind of like to sum things up, make some jokes about guys' names, but and there will be jokes about guys' names, so stick around. But watch the game. You know, this first quarter didn't start out very well for us. Utah doing a great job of collapsing deep, and with Kelly Olynyk in there and Walker Kessler, they were kind of crowding the area we wanted to get to, and you could see it was kind of getting to us. So we were starting to hit mid-range jumpers. And then at the end of the quarter, Franz with a nice step back hits a three. Then the long pass from Jalen Suggs to Franz as he hits the three, kind of falling out of bounds. A great shot. To end that quarter down only 1 point was pretty great for us because it could have been way worse. Was very impressed with Walker Kessler Jr. I think he had 3 blocks in like the first 3 minutes of this game. He was definitely being a rim protecting force in there. That was interesting. He actually blocked a dunk attempt by Paulo, and later Goga in the second quarter blocked a dunk attempt by Lauri Markkanen, which blocking a dunk is no joke. That is a legitimate thing to do, like without fouling somebody, to just block a guy who's coming to throw it down clean. Actually, it was Moritz who blocked on that dunk attempt, not Paulo. But that is a tough thing to do. So we get to see 2 of those in the first half on this one. And that was interesting. And, you know, Utah just kind of hitting more shots. Talen Horton-Tucker, I Googled him during this game. I thought he was like a player in his late 30s. I just thought it was time for him to get out of the league. I didn't realize he was that young. He looks really old. Life has been unkind to him in that department. I mean, he's lived a hard life maybe. I don't know. But he was balling out. He played really well for them. Obviously, they're missing 2 very key pieces that would make them in a more elite team. So we got to halftime. The game's pretty close, but this is where things get interesting for your boy because it's like, okay, it's halftime. That's down there. I'm going to go ahead and eBay some stuff. I got all my stuff behind me here. You can see the camera view is a little bit more tilted towards my side. You can see some of the chaos and the fun that is happening over here. And I'm doing it, and all of a sudden I hear like I'm trying to get the crowd really pumped up, and I'm like, what's going on right now? And I look over, and there's 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Boom. They just decided, you know, League Pass just decided, we're going to just catch you up to live. That's what you wanted, right? You just wanted to watch the first half and then skip the entire third and then just go right to the end of the game, right? And it's like, no, that's not what we wanted, League Pass. That thing has to work itself out. When we watch it downstairs on Kyle's Roku, when I watch it upstairs through the computer and just hook it up to the TV, it seems like there's always problems with it. People are paying a premium fee for this, and there's always issues. We talked about the noise issues that they had the other night. I'm not sure if that's Bally's or if that's actually the app itself or how it comes through, but they got to work this thing out, man, because this is an important thing that people are investing time and money into, and to basically have that part of the game ruined at that point, I wasn't going to just like pause it and be like, I'm going to go back, because I'm seeing the score and I'm seeing 32 seconds left, and I'm like, all right, well, let's see what happens. And I see Paulo, you know, miss 1 free throw and then hit the second one, so we were down 3. And then Lauri Markkanen hits like a really kind of a bad shot, honestly, but he got it to go. And that was it at that point. Like, we could not catch up. I don't like that Lauri decided to dunk at the buzzer. I didn't feel like that was necessary at all. But yeah, I was angry because of the League Pass kind of ripping me off of getting to see that part of the comeback. And I know I could have gone back and rewound and probably watched that part, but I'd already seen the end of the game now. And I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of where I'm at. Like, if I see it, I know. But here are the other notes that I got from the game that I know you want to see. Michael Carter Williams' baby was in the huddle before the game. I don't understand what that's about. Kids don't really belong in that setting, and I know that like people have started bringing kids to like their press conferences and stuff afterwards, but leave the kids home. It's not for them. Like, you can't bring your kids or your pets everywhere you go. Like, you have a job. do your job, like it's not bring your kid to work day. Like you can't bring him on the court. It's just insane to me. That seems like an area that you wouldn't want your kid to be. But the Jazz are wearing the highlighter uniforms, but there's really nothing high about them. That's the most basic NBA jersey I think I may have ever seen. It's just yellow. It's black. It says Jazz on it. Not a funky font. The numbers are a regular font. There's nothing interesting about it at all. It's not jazzy in any way. I don't know why they would wear this. Every Jazz jersey they've ever put on before has been better. I'm not sure who designed this or who thought this was a good idea. Some sort of minimalist design that, like, quite frankly, no one wants. That's stupid. Yellow is kind of a bad color, honestly. And then you mix it with black, which is terrible. I mean, you got to zhuzh it up with some other color or something. Like, you can't just go yellow, black. It's not good. They're not good, and they shouldn't be embarrassed to have to wear them. They got a guy named Oddjoby from Kansas. I finally got to understand the pronunciation of his name, which is difficult because you see it on cards. We've opened them on Cards Cousins and definitely screwed up that name a time or two. They had a man that was made of wood. But by the end of this game, you would realize that he is a real boy, Fontenecchio or Pinocchio, or I don't remember what his name was, but he played pretty well. Rudy Gay, ladies and gentlemen, still plays in the NBA. I did not know this. I thought he had retired, but there he was, and he had a mask on. And so at one point I looked at him and was like, oh, look at who's this masked man? Oh, my God, it's Super Gay. And then I was like, oh, you can't say that. And I just did. But you know what? The guy's wearing a mask. His last name's Gay. What are you going to do? Someone else had to say it, right? Let's see. Those are most of my jokey notes at that point. We had Cowboy Stuff perform at one point, which I thought was censorship of Hangman Adam Page and all the things that he's capable of doing on this fine wrestling program. Jeff Turner asked at one point about how many times Jalen hits the floor, looking kind of for a stat. I've mentioned that several times that I'd like to see Libman officially sponsor him because he spends more time on the court than the Libman mops. But it's nice to see that Jeff and I are on the same page. I find that happens a lot when I'm watching the games. Sometimes when I'm watching with like Kyle or something like that, or we're doing a live show, we don't have the guys on loud enough so I can actually hear what they're talking about. So it's kind of nice to hear David and Jeff talking tonight. And Jeff, I feel like he thinks a lot of the things I'm thinking of. Sometimes he thinks of them a little before me, sometimes a little after me, but we're on like the same wavelength of like what we're watching on the basketball court and some of the side things he does to kind of add color to the game, which I love, man. I just feel like maybe we're a kindred spirit or something like that. I don't know, but I like knowing that I'm in good company when I'm thinking of certain things or saying certain things that then Jeff says on the broadcast. I swear to God, maybe he watched the show. I don't know. If he wants to start texting me, we can start spitballing ideas, Jeff. Let me know. Talk to me. Paulo's missed free throws tonight kind of hurt us. I think we missed 10 as a team. I'm going to go to my stats on my phone here. Usually I wait while Kyle is regaling you with a stat while I get to mine, but we'll give you your typical stats. We got out rebounded 42-36. Their field goal percentage was 55 and ours was 46. 3-point percentage tonight. We actually win this category, which is rare for us. 16 of 34 for 47%. The Jazz 13 of 34 for 38%. But the free throws is really, where the problem was. The Jazz 20 of 21 for 95%. And the Magic also make 20, but miss 11. 20 of 31, 64%. And a game that's kind of this close, you need those free throws from your guys down the stretch. And we just didn't get it. Points in the paint, the Jazz win it 64-50. Bench points, the Jazz win it 40-26. It's a good scoring game for Paulo. It's a good scoring game for Franz. It's a good scoring game for Markelle Fultz, and an efficient one. 9 of 13 for him. 2 of 4 from the three-point line. I'm not really sure. Basically, we had no bench scoring. Moritz started tonight, so I don't know why they have this down as him being on the bench here. But Moritz started tonight, 11 points, 6 boards. Let's see who our plus-minus player of the game is. I know I looked at this once already, and it's not going to be good. The plus-minus points of the game guy is Cole Anthony, who despite scoring only 6 points on his own, was a +4 for the Magic tonight off the bench. And the worst player was Gary Harris at -11. And he pitched in 12 points of his own on 4 of 9 shooting. Just from what I saw, I missed that third quarter where we scored 41 points and had a nice outburst, but it was a great game for Jalen Suggs and most of our main dudes. But we really needed some play inside in a game like this where Walker Kessler's in there. And, man, what a surprise he's been as a rook for the Jazz. He's just been playing fantastic. And I know the rise of Lauri Markkanen has really put the Jazz on the map too, but Talon Horton-Tucker scored 23 points for them. Markkanen finished with 31 because he had to get that dunk in at the last second, had to get that 30 burger in there. The Wooden Boy scored 17 points in this one. Good for him. Kelly Olynyk only puts in 10 in 29 minutes, but 7 assists and 5 boards added into that. And a presence on the inside. When you got a couple of 7-footers on the inside, it mucks up the works, and that's where the Magic do their best eating. So it's a good thing we had a good 3-point shooting day, because if we didn't, we could have got blown out in this one. And the Jazz are missing 2 of their better players, Jordan Clarkson and I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's a guard, and they're missing him. And, the Jazz started out hot in this year, but they've started to tank a little bit. With the injuries, they're just not the same. And we just couldn't get this one today. Well, this is one you needed to get again. This is 3 straight losses at home to all pretty good teams, but you need to get at least 2 of these if you wanted to be in the play-in. So I think that dream has probably officially died, although don't tell that to any of our players. I'm sure they're going to continue to play hard for the rest of the season. I'm curious as to what people thought of this game. Maybe tell me about how great the third quarter was in the comments section if you'd like. Did you all miss the third quarter? Is that something that they just didn't share with people? I don't know. Maybe that's on me to make sure I try to watch it live so that those things don't happen. But without hitting a button or clicking anything, it shouldn't just all of a sudden go live. I've never had Hulu do that. I've never had YouTube TV, any of the other platforms, Disney Plus. They don't just decide to move you up to live if you're not watching live. So that stunk. That stunk stuff. He knows. Anyway, Magic will be back in action at home. The final game of this homestand against Miami. It'd be nice to get one here just so we don't end up 0-4 on this homestand. I'm trying to get the city of Orlando to embrace this team and see where the future is going. And even though you can be close and play pretty well in all 3 of these games with some very tough opponents, they need to see some dubs at some point. And a dub against your in-state rival, the Miami Heat, would go a long way in making sure that happened. So I'm going to check these notes here that Kyle made me to make sure that I actually do this show right. I'm sure he's hating this part, but I wanted to make sure that I had the right buttons. That's it for me. Magic lose this game. Back at it again against the Heat on Saturday. Hey, man. Go Magic. This is not I'm not sad about this loss. It just is what it is. If the guys could get over the hump, we'd be there. But I think if we have Wendell Carter in this game, we can win. But obviously, if they have their 2 stars, I think they might be a better team than us right now. But that's the wraps. That's it. Thanks for coming.